chasing a road to glory, driven since I was a child.
If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, work day and night for it. Hey there, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Had a wonderful opportunity to listen to Tim McGraw last night sing at the Houston Rodeo. It was fantastic. And one of the unique things that he did was he went around the stadium and he shook hands, he high-fived a bunch of people. And it was just that small little moment where he's connecting with an individual that I thought, man, what an amazing human being to be able to take time out of this huge performance where everybody is just jam-packed inside this NRG stadium, tens of thousands of people in there, and he's taking the time to be able to go and shake several tons of people's hands. And so I thought about that. What are we doing? Those small little things that we can be doing, whether it's in our office when we come into the office, are we saying hi to people, or are we shaking hands, are we being friendly to people? It's these small little things I think that matter to those around us. What are you doing? Trims out. Hey there, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. A lot of times people, they struggle with Fridays. They're so focused on looking for the weekend that they don't actually enjoy the day in front of them. Doesn't mean every day is going to go perfect. Doesn't mean that everything's going to work in our favor. But when we embrace the now, we embrace what's happening in our lives, that's when we start moving towards satisfaction, gratitude, and gratefulness for what we have. Instead of thinking about the glass or the figurative glass half empty, we look at our lives and saying, oh, what I don't have, I wish I had more. And saying, no, this is what I do have. These are the good things that's going on in my lives. Of course, I do want more. So there's this yin and yang of being completely satisfied with what's happening right now and then being motivated and driven towards getting more. I wish you all the best to go and get more, at the same time loving and embracing the now. Sherman's out. Where I am, let's definitely feel lighter. So let's start at the beginning. Just your leaders things. One of the biggest things is let's start with the why. Why would you want to fall with social media, right? Because you don't want to live on your phone. You're not a 14-year-old girl that wants to be all the time. But we're really where the reason why is because that's what happens. Generation, number one, I think I'm generation Y or something. I was born in '79, so like we're the ones that didn't grow up with it, but you had to figure out how people use it because now we can't we didn't grow up with cell phones about when we were working age, and so the unique thing about that is Hey there, everybody. Hope you're doing great. Doing really well. Had a productive day today. Ended up starting here at the office. Ended up, had an 8:30 call, webinar on specific product. And then at 9, actually, the interview came in early, so ended up had them slotted for 9:30. So I had to quickly get rid of all the piles, put a bunch of stuff away, brought them in, had a great conversation with them. Going to keep moving with them in the process. Was really impressed with kind of where they're at in their head and what their career aspirations are. And then that went for about an hour and 15 minutes, and then got prepared for the lunch and learn, did on social media marketing, and had 9 people in here, so a decent turnout. There's meant to be 12, and then was able to, after that, come in, have an interview from 1 to 2. That went really well, and then from 2 to 2:30 was on a call, and then followed up with someone that actually was listening in on my interview, and again, let the interviewee know that this person was in on the call, and they're just giving me some feedback. And so really liked the way that I did things, asking questions. Anytime that I'm going to speak a long period of time, I want to make sure that I'm not speaking too much, and so I give time to ask questions and ultimately find the heart at the individual by asking the right questions of why they want to do what they do and what's really motivating them, to make sure that we're in alignment with what they want in their career and what we want from our employees. And then after that, submitted my reimbursements, and then made a phone call to the training director, and then got some homework to do to be able to create a runway. So post-launch, what's the ideal week for our employees, day by day, week by week, for the first 90 days to build the right habits of success. So that's what we're going to do, and then be able to make sure that we're launching in periodically throughout that process, learning items for them to be able to get better. So hopefully that's a value to the organization. Not only, well, first specifically, selfishly, I look to my team. Is that a value to my team? And then number 2 is, how can it be valuable to the organization as a whole for all of South Texas? So it's about 5 o'clock here. Was able to then recap with the managing partner. Hey, does this sound good? Is anybody else working on this? I want to make sure that I'm not we're wasting my time or duplicating what somebody else is already doing or already done. And he said, nope, nobody else is working on it. So let's run it at, put a little more structure, and let's go. Sherm's out. Hey there, everybody. All right, so it's 5:15. Get into the office. Sometimes I enjoy being the last one out. Sometimes it's not necessarily one to wear with a badge of honor, ooh, look at me, I was the last one out of the office. It was that I had certain things that I committed to that I wanted to get done for the day, and so it just needed to get done. So it's nothing that I would say you want to brag that you put in some hours. At the same time, I think it's worth commending yourself, complimenting yourself if you're putting in the work. Those that quote-unquote hustle and they're working basically 40 hours a week, it's just putting in a work week. Nobody that goes to an hourly job is like, oh, look at me, I put in 40 hours. Now, if you put in 60 because you put in 20 hours of overtime, pretty impressive. Same thing works on the biz side, right, where you're salaried, putting in the work, putting in the time. It's not sexy, just needs to get done. Hey there, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Just taking off the old jacket. I'm going to take the tie off as well. Start relaxing here. A lot of times you see me putting it on, so I thought may as well show you taking it off. So as you know, I'm a big supporter of the concept of giving out specialized information now that we have all the information at our fingertips. So I think a lot of people, in order to showcase their expertise, needs to start sharing that in some kind of format. Book, blog, vlog, posts, articles, you name it, podcasts. There's a multitude of different ways that you can share your expertise, your narrative, your specialty to the community which you're trying to build. Doesn't mean that you need to go start your own media company. I think people too often think that just because they're going to start sharing of their world, they need to be entrepreneurial. No, you just need to be able to be devoted to what you're building, and that's your craft, in order to showcase that, hey, you're worth listening to. Sherm's out.
Locked and loaded. Nobody safe around me. I'm about to spray, I'm rowdy. Pipe it up, run it up, count it up. Ice on my wrist, I'm drowning. I bet I lift and I light it up.